And looking,
Hello.
we're live.
What's up, everybody? Shout out to the one person on Twitch that always watches.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That one person on Twitch is just keeping our dreams alive.
We do this for you.
Yeah. So today, what are we talking about, Robert?
Today we're talking about why you need a consultant or a business coach. So it's good. It's a good day to basically pay attention and just check out what we got to say, and really understand, most people out there that are running businesses, if I could give any advice to like my younger self, it would be that, nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody puts on this little fake facade. But the only way that you actually are going to get ahead, especially in business, is if you work with people who have, done this kind of thing before. So that's my little intro. What do you think, Corey?
Absolutely. And we'll go over some of the reasons that, or some of the things that you can look out for to choose the right consultant here in a bit. I definitely think that, we should go over, what kind of benefits that consultants can bring you and what kind of features that they might have for you, as well as choosing the right consultant. And then kind of recap and talk about what things that you can look for when you hire a consultant. So I think first off, you hire a consultant because you haven't done this before or whatever, and you need some expert advice. Advice. And I know that, each consultant and coach and advisor has a different set of advice, has a different set of skills that they can help you with. And we don't want to just talk about ourselves today, although we are advisors. We want to make sure that you are getting the right tools to use this just in case you need to hire someone that's really great in an area that we don't cover. Now, keep in mind, we know a lot of people. So if we don't cover something, we know someone that we can refer you to. But that expert advice is extremely important. Somebody that knows and has been in the space. One of the things I refer to very, very often is my friend Ashley. She does consulting in a specific area of getting your retail item into the big box stores like Target and Walmart. She's worked for Walmart. She's worked for grocery stores. She's worked for all of these other places, and she knows exactly how to get your product into there. I don't know the people. I don't know how to, those little intricacies. She's done it time and time again. So every time that I get someone in, I look to that expert advice from Ashley, as opposed to saying, yep, I'm a know-it-all, right? You don't want someone that's a know-it-all. You want someone with expert advice. And those people are very, very honed in on what they do. And I know Robert's very, very honed in on giving you great insight into sales and increasing your revenue and getting additional things going for your business. And I'm really, really focused on that operational side of growing your capacity and your processes. Of course, sales is a process as well, so we can work on that with Robert. And Robert can work on some of the things that you need to bleed over into the operations with me. So that expert advice is very, very important that you seek out that just someone that's done it before, right?
Yep. Right. I just want to hold up and make sure everybody can hear us. Are you am I coming in choppy or anything like that? If anybody could put some comments down below, just say, hello, we're here. Let us know where you're kind of coming from or where you're watching from. I would really appreciate it.
And to throw you under the bus, I don't know what you did to your mic, but it does sound good. It sounded good for the last couple of days.
Yeah, no, it's when I record on the computer. It was when I was doing it on the iPad. It was all glitchy, and so
yeah.
Now we know the damage. We needed expert advice on that.
We needed expert advice on iOS integrations. Yeah, so I think expert advice is the number one thing that people go after when they need a consultant. Why they need a consultant, what they need it for. And so that expert advice could be anything from pricing to specifically social media marketing, or any of that stuff. So just and we'll kind of give you some tips and tricks on how to monitor or figure those people out and make sure that they're legit here in a bit. But that expert advice is very important. So I think the second thing that people really want is that second set of eyes and that unfettered advice, that honest advice from an outsider. Can you talk a little bit to that, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, honesty is one of the most important things. Like I'm not gonna take a look at your business and then, I mean, there is a balance. I'm not just gonna basically, if I go over everything and I think your business model is total trash, then I might be delicate in the way that I tell you how it is, but I'm also gonna give you the best advice that I can to make sure that you get where you want to go. So let's say you have an outdated e-commerce store and you're trying to get to 100,000 a year with it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be like, look, we need to rebuild this whole thing. We need to come up with a brand new strategy. We need to really do a lot of work. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for somebody. And having that honest opinion, though, is what's going to get you there. Like at the end of the day, as long as you get results, that's what you want, right? So if I have to tell you the hard truth about your business to get the results, that's going to be really key. Another thing is I've talked to like very large, $1 million companies. And if you're going to get a expert advisor and they're going to be completely honest with you, you have to listen to what they say, because otherwise you might just lose tons of money. Like you could be losing, hundreds of $1,000s a year because someone isn't honest with you. This is actually kind of a funny point. So in Japan, they'll hire Americans to bring you into their company because in Japan, they're very, the culture, has very strict guidelines for how the lower staff can talk to the managers. So they'll hire Americans to come into the company and be honest with the manager to tell them that their idea sucks.
Yeah, that's, and I think that we provide as advisors that distance from whatever the cultural thing is, whatever the whatever you are going through in your business. People sometimes and I'll tell you this, Japan's not the only one that their employees aren't as honest with the owners or the employers as they should be. But I see that a lot in America as well, especially when I was an employee, but I've seen it a lot when I go out. One of the things that I've done in the past a lot is go in and interview everyone in the company, and each job title has a specific interview set of questions. So project management will get a certain set of questions, and everybody else, the different things. So they are not honest with what they know, what they are, and again, it's one of those things, people are out there faking it until they make it a lot of times. So when they say I'm overwhelmed to the consultant, it's a little bit less, I'm not going to tell the boss who is overwhelmed. I'm just going to say, hey, there's a little bit of overwhelm in the project management department right now. And so we need to maybe bolster that with some, I think, and sometimes it comes down to training. Sometimes it comes down to a new employee, but I think, and sometimes it comes down to just standardization, but they're not honest because they think that, oh, nobody else is overwhelmed, so I'm the only one. I'm going to get fired if I'm overwhelmed because I'm just not efficient. And that's not their fault. That's the employer's fault for not setting up efficient systems. But we are able to come in from an outside point of view and see that. And, I think making sure that those problems are identified and addressed, not just identified, but addressed as well, comes down to that honest and unfettered advice. I think that's super, super important.
Yeah, I got one more note on that.
Yeah.
Since I do the sales, a lot of times I'll come into these big businesses and I'll just start cold calling their past customers just to get a feel of why the customer bought from them, what their experience was. And like this blows business owners' minds. They're like, "Oh my God, you're actually talking to our old customers?" And and we'll find real reasons why their customers not only found them, why they like them, why they work with them, and we'll be able to use that information to get more customers or to tweak the product to make it better. So just having an outside view and an honest, unfettered is the word, I guess, opinion
Yeah,
is really,
yeah.
really powerful.
Yeah,
So it's pretty cool stuff.
absolutely. I think the next point would be, finances and numbers and things, and it's really more than the numbers. So people hire consultants and advisors to help them with their finances and with their budgets and things like that. But it really comes down to more than the numbers. I know from my standpoint, um, a lot of people think, hey, an efficiency expert, he's going to come in and fire half of the crew and standardize it and put a system in place where half of the people can do twice the work, and we're going to fire the other half. And I don't really like to do that. I really like to come in and say, hey, look, let's put the right people in the right seat on the bus. You're going to need 50 employees anyway,
Mhm.
down the road. So let's put them in the right seat, and let's get you to that point where you need those 50 employees, instead of like you need them right now just because you're fighting fires. But let's get to that point. And so I think more than just the numbers, like people don't really realize that consultants are people too, and we don't like to fire people. We don't like to come in and cut things from your budget. We want you to be able to afford the things that you need, um, and we want to provide the avenue for you to do so. And so that's important for us to provide those revenue streams that are going to allow you to grow your business and keep those employees employed, because they're humans and we want to make sure that we care for them. What are your thoughts on that, Robert?
Well, I agree. We're humans, but I've also been hired to come into companies and fire people. Some people
Oh,
can't do it
absolutely.
themselves, so they'll bring you in and be like, "Joe, he's got to go. I just can't do it. I know his wife and his kids." So we
Yeah,
always try
absolutely.
not to get to that point, but that is very true. And I mean, we're just talking about finances, right? And like that's like one of
Yeah.
the biggest things.
At
So
the
like,
end
I
of the
mean,
day,
coming.
absolutely. If someone can't afford an employee, or if there's something that is, I mean, if I were to just go in and look at your accounting and your finances and say, hey, look, this is what you can afford right now, this is what you cannot, then we would just cut employees. More than likely, that would be my job, is to go in and do that and say, hey, look, this is what you can afford right now, this is what you can't, this is what you can afford in the near future. So let's keep on 10% of the people that we should fire,
Mhm.
because of the future, just for keeping it robust. But other than that, that's it. That's the cut and dry of it. And I think that understanding that we come in as advisors and say, hey, look, we're we and Robert loves to, and I'm going to throw you under the bus again today. Robert loves to say we're going to make you more money, which is absolutely true. We do want to do that, but it's not just about that. It's about making you more money so that you can put more food on more people's plates as a
Yeah.
company.
One of the biggest things that I like to do is basically build businesses up so that they can hire more people, so they can build a
Absolutely.
bigger team and find unique ways to keep people employed and bring people on and help people, and get more money. So I think that's true. But I mean, when we're breaking down, like when we step into your business and we look at the books, it's more about just being honest. It's about like, hey, look, this is where you are. A lot of people let their businesses just like free fall and go out of control without ever actually getting down and looking at the nitty gritty. I think it's like not just businesses, but it's like society nowadays. We're scared to look at the bank accounts and we're scared to look at the numbers because it's taboo or something like that. So having someone step in there and really break it down. And when we do these things, what I find is like, oh, last March, your business did the best it's done. That was its best month. What did you do that month? And then they're like, oh, we
Yeah.
did this, and this. And then I can just be like, well, let's do that again.
Let's
So
do that again. Yeah.
there's simple fixes that come from having someone look at your numbers, look at the books, and just try and genuinely help you.
Yeah. And I think too, coming in and saying this is what, and this kind of goes back to finance as well, but it touches on a lot more subjects, is that competitive insight. Like, we've done this before. We have worked with other companies. We know how much you should be spending. We know how much
Mhm.
other companies are spending. We know how much they're making on the things that you are spending on. And so when we come in and say, hey, look, you're spending too much on this, or you're spending too little on this, a lot of people, a lot of small businesses are, they boost their ad for $10 or whatever, and it absolutely doesn't do jack. You're just not reaching enough people with $10 on
Right.
Facebook. It just doesn't work. And even if you spend $10 30 times a month, and spend $300, that's still so scattered and shotgun of an approach that you're not really calculating, hey, what did get some traction, what didn't get any traction, what colors were used, what words were used. And so
Mhm.
understanding what the competitors are doing, understanding what your other people in different industries are doing, that's what we bring in. We bring in that insight from those other places, and we're able to translate that to your business. And I like to say that this is something that I say quite a bit because it's absolutely true. I take Fortune 500 company principles and I apply them to small and mid-sized enterprises, right? And that right there is something that I really pride myself on, because I've worked at Caterpillar. Both Robert and I have been in the military. That's a Fortune 500 company, if you believe it or not.
Really?
And they really, yeah. And so it's not Fortune 500, but you know what I mean? It's that
Mhm.
size, and they take a lot of, they get consultants in all the time for the military to actually teach them how to do leadership and things like that. Over time, they've developed this methodology to do things. And I really think that, that competitive insight into working for these different companies. I've done consulting work. I've done all kinds of stuff for Fortune 500 companies, and we go in and we do a task. We do some implementation. But what that gets you is that gets you me learning about their business and then bringing it to you. I can bring that information to you. Same with Robert. He can bring that information straight to you and bring that competitive insight in and say, hey, look, this is what your competitors are doing, just across the board. And I'm sure, and Robert and I talk about this quite a bit. We both read. We both read quite a bit of articles and quite a bit of books. And so understanding that we're doing research while you're not our client is important as well.
I would say working with us is a competitive advantage. It's not just
Yeah,
insight, bro.
absolutely. Yeah.
But we can also get nitty gritty and go and diagnose your competition, because like that's what all marketing is. If you have a funnel, if you have a business, I'll go in and I'll test 20 other competitors funnels and their follow-ups and newsletters. I'll see what words they're using, I'll see what ads they're running, and then we'll bring it back and we'll pick the best ones that seem to be performing, and we'll make something like that for you. What is it? It's like great artists or good artists copy, great artists steal. Like, so we want to find the best funnels for you. We want to find the best things that are working in your industry right now that's going to get you where you want to go. So being and not only that, we're going to make you be competitive. If we're going to work with you, we're not just going to let you lollygag. We're going to kick your ass and get you in gear to make the profits, to hit the goals and get you where you want to go. So lots of good
Yeah.
stuff. What else?
Absolutely. And I think too, out of that, we're going to get you those cost savings. Just
Mm,
in the very beginning, you really are looking to save money on your costs. You want to build that revenue, but you also want to cut back on those things that you're spending too much on. And having that relationship with the business and saying, hey, look, I am in this business every day. This is something that I need. And
mhm.
then going back to our honest and unfettered advice back here, we're going to tell you to cut that. We're going to tell you, hey, listen, you really don't need that. Or, hey, I have that competitive insight. I know that your competitors are using a different software that costs less, that does multiple things. Let's just use that instead. So those cost savings are important, especially to somebody that is looking to grow, because that's how you grow. You cannot grow without some additional capital being reinvested, and you can't reinvest without saving on the things that you're spending on. So let's look at that, and let's save you some of those costs that you are putting into your business, that aren't reasonable and aren't rational. They're not revenue creating and generating activities. They're just costing you money.
Yeah. I mean, one of the greatest uh, like goals of mankind is economic growth, right? That's what I mean. If we're going to call a spade, like we're business consultants, we're going to make you more money. We're going to boost your economic growth. We're going to have you do more. And one of the key things to do that is, spend less, make more. So we like to trim the fat, make your business as lean as possible. And you have no idea the relief a lot of these companies have when we can take a look at something and be like, you don't need to be paying for this anymore. Like let's just cut it off. It's going bad. Like this is not what you need to be doing. And the relief from like cutting some things off and just getting focused on what's going to propel your business forward and make you money, those are huge. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think too, you want to save that cost, but we also want to save you time.
yeah, want to save you time. We want to make you more money so you can spend more time with your family doing what you love, and keep your business rolling. My whole thing right now is to help business owners get to escape velocity, which is about $5 million. Wouldn't you like to have a business where we help you create leverage, we help you make money, and we get you to the point where you don't actually even have to be at the office. You work on the projects that you want to work on, and you hire smart people to run your company for you and make you lots of money. Like that's really where we want to get people. So we want to save you time. We want to really get you out of the hustle and grind mode and get you on the big thinking, the big idea mode, and the vision, like you were meant to be when you first started your business, or at least have fun at work while you're making a lot of money. Like that's kind of what we want to do.
Well, and I think somebody commented on the Level Up Business Mastery group maybe a day ago or so, and said, I need to get to the point where I've got employees, and I think that's important. If you're a solopreneur, if you're trying to run your business by yourself and you're doing all of the work, that's hard work. I know the guy that commented that, he's running a party rental. He's hauling these big balloons that he's got to blow up, the bouncy castles, I believe, and some tents and things like that. He's pulling that in and out of. He's basically a mover. In essence, he's moving things. Like and it's heavier than regular furniture in a lot of cases. And so those things, he's moving it in and out of a truck and setting it up, and then moving it back into the truck and then driving it off. That right there, that job itself is very hard. While he's doing that, he's not able to answer the phone and take a new client.
Right.
Is he? He's not able to do certain things while he's doing certain things. So that time savings is a force multiplier as well. So you're able to do the things that are more valuable in your company, that you are good at. Hey, I'm really good at bringing on new clients and doing that thing. Well, then let's get somebody in your company that handles the operations for you. Or, hey, I'm really good at operations. Let's bring someone in that's great at the sales side and the marketing side, and let's just continually get you a steady stream of clients so that you, being good at operations, can do the operations, right? And I think that time savings, it does trickle down. Hey, I'm going to get to go see my kid at t-ball practice, or I'm going to be able to go be a coach on my daughter's soccer team or something like that. Those time savings, if you're at work, you're doing that. My family owns a food truck, and one of the things that I told them up front is like, hey, look, you need somebody to answer the phones. Somebody needs to be setting up that food truck for the next spot while you're cooking, while you're in the truck sweating your butt off. I know you love to cook. I know you love that, but let's take that phone portion out of the equation for you and task it with someone else. And that way, that person is actively going out and saying, hey, look, we would love to set up our food truck outside of your business on Thursday or whatever. And they set up an arrangement for now you've got all month booked up. You've got locations booked up. And right now they're just not doing that. And you know, so I mean we can definitely see the detriment of not bringing in a consultant for your time savings.
Yeah.
And that's my family. I'm throwing a lot of people under the bus today. I'm a blue falcon, as they say in the military.
Well, no, back to the trampoline guy. I mean, the hardest thing for a lot of entrepreneurs is just hiring new people, getting over that initial fear of, well, what if I can't afford to pay them or blah, 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 blah. Whereas in reality, there's a lot of people that need work, that want to make money, that would love an opportunity to work with them. So it's all about mindset on that front. And a lot of people are just worried about, you know, getting new staff or paying more for a good employee and things like that, you know, whereas the good employee is 10 times better than hiring a shit employee that's just going to waste your time, you know. So you have to know where to put your time and where to put your energy and your money so that it actually does save you money and doesn't just stress you out and become a burden. You know, that's another reason to hire us. So there's lots of things.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
I think you touched on something that we can kind of go back to, this unfettered advice. That, you know, one of the things that I've noticed is people will say, hey, I would rather have an employee than to not have an employee and have to hire someone better. So this person that's only putting in, you know, 20% of their effort is better than no people. And I have to, I'm going to interject right here and give you some, I'm going to drop some knowledge bombs on you. Get a pen and paper right now, if you're watching this, and write this down, because yes, fire that employee. If they're not doing their job, we love to keep them on. But if they're not doing their job, it's better for you to be in a situation where you have to hire a new employee, because you're going to go find someone better right now. Let's go find that new employee. Let's rip the Band-Aid off, nip it at the bud, whatever you want to call it, but get that employee out of there. They are toxic. They're not performing. They're probably embedding ideas into your other employees' heads. They're unengaged. They're disengaged. And I would say most of them are actively disengaged if they're low on the performing scale like that. Get them out of there. It's actually better for you to have zero, because now you're prompted to get that other employee and get that new person in, as opposed to, oh, we've got somebody and we'll just we'll stay alive for another 6 months.
OQP, only quality people.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about choosing the right consultant for a second or two, and then we'll go back into some of the features and benefits. But I want to touch on this and get your thoughts, Robert, because I know we've talked extensively about this, but I want you to kind of voice this to the public as well, because we've talked about it, but I think you've got some great insight on choosing the right consultant.
Yeah, I was thinking about this yesterday. So it's kind of a cool question. It's like, if you had a $10,000 coupon for any consultant, any coach out there in the world, what would you want? You know, what would you want to receive back? And this idea of, if I could have anybody, a $10,000 consultant, and I could get any result that I wanted, what would it be? The first thing that comes to mind is I would like to learn, how to get $100,000 in passive income back or something like that, but it goes deeper than that, because if you want to get to the next level, there's always a glass ceiling, in life. There's mountains and there's valleys, basically. So sometimes you need a consultant when you're in the shit, and sometimes you need a consultant because you can't seem to get any higher. You can't seem to break through the glass ceiling and punch up into the next level that you want to be at. So the first thing you need to know is what you want, right? Once you know what you want and you have this clarity of what you want, then it's basically just time to go out there and find someone who can help you get there. And that's the biggest thing, is like, you want to find somebody who's already been there, or somebody who can really elevate you to that next level and motivate you. And a lot of times it's a mindset thing. It's like a a business psychology coach, or you need a, like somebody commented way earlier, is like, you need a health coach. If you're sick and unhealthy, you need that coach that's going to be able to get you where you want to go. That's going to take you and basically put together the vehicle to get you to whatever you're trying to reach for. So find clarity, find somebody who's there. And then I would always, spend as much money as you need to get in the right room with the right minds, with the right people. That's like one of the biggest things, especially nowadays. There's tons of garbage people, but when you actually find somebody who's willing to help you, who knows what they're doing, and it can really get you to that next level, you need to do everything you possibly can to get into that room and have some conversations with that person, even if it's just, a strategy call with me or whoever the heck you're trying to work with, So you're on mute, my dude. Mute.
Sorry, I had to get up and take care of some business. But I think that's extremely important that you just said, get into the room with the somebody that you need in your life. Hey, I need this little thing, and I need to do anything that I'm going to be able to do to get into a room to get that thing. And it's completely above board. You're not stealing diamonds over here from a museum. You need to just get in that room, and you need to pay whatever money you need to get in that room, because that's going to actually get you the ROI in the long term, and sometimes in the short term, right? So if I need that extra kick in the butt, and that goes to say, your public relations and your doing your press releases and things like that. Sometimes if you need somebody that's actually gotten you into Forbes, gotten people into Forbes and whatever, and that's your target market, let's get you in Forbes. Let's get you that publicist that's going to put that press release out, that's going to get you that and submit it to Forbes, so that you're going to be in there, right? And if they've done it before, Forbes is more likely to accept their press releases in the future. So that's just a small example, but that $3,000 or $4,000 or $10,000 to do that is actually going to net you more money in the long run, because you've actually done it. If you didn't do that, if you didn't spend that money, if you didn't choose the right person to spend that money with, then those are all some shortfalls in that choosing the right consultant arena. Hey, I didn't choose the right consultant because I spent too little money. They just really weren't motivated to help me, and then I've had clients that aren't motivated because they didn't spend enough money, because they just didn't have enough skin in the game. They're just like, I'm not going to do what you say. And so and that was years ago. But I learned my lesson, and I don't take on clients that are going to be kind of willy-nilly anymore and doing that. So I choose the right clients. They hopefully choose the right consultants. And one of the things about choosing those consultants, like you said, is narrowing down your result, figuring out what result you want to get. And then getting that result is just a matter of finding the right person for that result, right?
Yeah, you want to get in alignment. Like if you're here, your business is here, and you want to be here, you need to find someone who's in alignment with that exact thing. Like if you need a Facebook consultant for Facebook ads, go find a Facebook ad consultant. You need a YouTube ad consultant, go find a YouTube ad consultant. And a lot of times, though, people don't even know what they need. That's kind of like the biggest thing that I can bring to the table for you, is I can get your mindset right, your business psychology correct, so you know what you're doing. And then I can tell you, okay, well, next thing you need to do is start running TikTok ads, or stop wasting time here and start focusing your energy here. Whatever it needs to do. But if you're getting in alignment and you know what you want and you know where you want to go, that's pretty much what you need. Like, and if you can't seem to get there on your own, that's really what the our program is like a vehicle, right? So if you're here and you're trying to get here, you need to hop into our vehicle, because that's the direction we're going. We're going to get you to that escape velocity, that $5 million a year or whatever. We're going to get you to that next level. And so if that's where you're going, then you need to hop on, because the train's leaving. Like it's basically the right way to go. So
Yeah, and I think it's also a catalyst. We can call it a catalyst. We can call it a vehicle. It's a lot of different things. I think really, what we bring to the table specifically, we are here as in this particular program that we're offering. We've got our one-time offer. We've got 11 days left, and what we're doing specifically is taking businesses to the next level in an 8-week period, and that's going to be very, very, from the 30,000-foot view, it's very generalistic in a way. However, when we dig down into each 8-week or each week of the 8 weeks and actually look at the curriculum and actually look at how we're helping, and then individualize that with our one-on-one strategy sessions throughout the 8-week consulting engagement, this is going to be very, very powerful, because we're going to be able to dig down and pinpoint some of those things that you need and achieve those goals that we established at the very beginning for you. So those 8 business owners that are going to be in this program are actually going to get very, very catered attention. Even though we're going through a framework, we're going to be able to actually build their businesses to the next level over this 8 weeks because of our one-on-one attention to these business problems and bringing those business solutions to get to those goals. As far as what we offer, I have a business administration degree from an accredited university, that you've heard of. That's a big one. That's a mouthful. But what that means is, if you're looking for a business advisor and they don't have experience or education, then, and they just started, last year or 6 months ago, and they've never really been in a leadership position in an organization, things like that. Those things right there are going to, you need to do your research and make sure that you are finding out that they've done this before. I've got a Lean Six Sigma black belt. If you don't know what that means, it means that I am an efficiency expert. I like the expert in the world. There's only about, I think there's only about 7,000 of us in the entire planet.
I want to, how did you, not how did you, but what does it take to become a Lean Six Sigma black belt? You do like karate chops, or what do we
Yeah, lots of karate chops.
Everybody was kung fu
this
fighting.
Part of my hand gets really sore. No, it's a lot of math. There's a lot of math involved, and what you do is to actually achieve that goal, you have to actually submit a project that you've done and say, this is how I went through the methodology and I got from here from A to Z. You have to spell that out for them and submit that, and then they approve you, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a test, you have the approval process. And you have to, I believe they've added hours like the project management professional now, but you have to do a lot of things to get there. And then also a lot of people flunk out because they just can't do the math. And it's not about being smart. It's about I'm smart in this one area. And it happens to be, I was really poor in math when I was in high school and I hated it. But when I got into college, I absolutely loved it. For some reason, I was able to translate math into stories. And so I can tell a story with math now, as opposed to when I was in high school and it was just boring stuff. And I really, really got into it. And so I made straight A's in all of my trigonometry, calculus, statistics, you name it. If it was math related, even my economics, there was a lot of math involved in the economics as I got further in my minor degree. But yeah, that Lean Six Sigma black belt really takes a lot of doing analysis about what problems are in your business. What is the peak problem? What is causing the symptom that you're seeing? A lot of business owners hire us. And Robert, you know this. you know this all too well. They hire us and they say, "This is my symptom. This is my symptom. This is my symptom," but they call it a problem.
Mhm.
And their problem is that they don't have this or that set up, and that's the real root cause of their symptom. And so this Lean Six Sigma, you learn over a long period of time to and there's yellow belts and green belts. They use the karate scale or the martial arts scale of belting. But they, when you get to that Lean Six Sigma black belt stage, you are really the most advanced in the system. There's black belt trainers and things like that that are more advanced, but they're really not learning a whole lot more about diagnosing the problems and solving the problems. They're learning about how to teach other people to do it. So, so I'm at the top of learning how, or I have learned how to solve problems and use a mathematical approach, especially for the manufacturing side, for bigger businesses and things like that. But what we can do here with that is we can draw down and say, hey, this is going to be let's apply this to a small business. We don't have to use all the math. We just have to know the concept, right? And so sometimes those smaller business and and I'd say once you get into the mid-sized enterprise area, you need a Lean Six Sigma black belt as a consultant or advisor somewhere on your advisory board, or as a consultant that you hire every quarter just to come in and look, or every year at least at a minimum, just to come in and look at your processes and make sure that you're doing well and things are going smoothly. But the small businesses, you don't need all the math. You need the concepts, and you need to make sure that you're setting yourself up to grow into that mid-sized enterprise area and arena. So what it takes for me to get a black belt, it took years of experience in continuous improvement as an employee, and making sure that I was doing improvement projects in my business that I could then translate into this training. When I finally did do the formal training, you have to go through training courses. It's like a small college course for each one of the belts, and then so I did the white, the yellow, the green, and then the black. You can jump from green to black, but those things are. It was a difficult path to get down, and I'm glad I did it. But yeah, that one of the biggest things is it's a tool in my tool belts. That's it.
Cool. In your black tool belt.
In my black tool belt. But
that's awesome.
But on top of that, and I don't want to go too deep into this either, but the project management professional is also another high-level certification. There's only several thousand of us in the world as well. That project management professional certification is invaluable to understand what it takes to actually put something together. This is a framework that NASA uses. This is to build huge rockets that don't have errors, things like that. I need to touch on Lean Six Sigma. Lean Six Sigma is eliminating the opportunity for an error in your process. Let's summarize it there. And a project management professional is actually putting a process into place to solve problems or to build something or to put something together. So project management is used by construction industry, and everyone in between has some type of project management. And those projects are very essential when you're coming from an outside point of view and you're disrupting operations. You're doing something outside of operations and outside of regular sales and regular operations. You're coming in and doing a special project. It takes project management. And I think being a project management professional sets our team up for success in your business, and making sure that the things that we say we're going to do, we actually can execute on, because we have a plan, we have a process. And then lastly on this, how to choose the right consultant and that's just a little bit about us, but you really want to find somebody that has qualifications in the fields that you're looking for. If someone says, hey, I was a kindergarten teacher and now I'm a social media marketer, you need to look at what their qualifications are, what what they've been doing, who they've worked for, and how they've done things. So those certifications for us are important. However, for you, you may be looking for somebody different. And so we need to make sure that you are looking for specific certifications. You're looking for specific clients that they've worked with. They've already done this for companies. They've already had this in their tool belt. They can do this for you. I know Robert has already done this when we talk to clients, when we've already talked to clients already. Robert said, yeah, we did that. Hey, I've got an example of something we did before. And I like that about Robert. And that's the same thing that I bring to the table. I like to say, hey, look, this happened with this client, and this is what we did about it. If they can't say those kind of things, then they're probably not a great consultant for you or a great advisor for you. What do you think, Robert?
Yep. No, if they've, having case studies and things like that is one of the key things of finding a good consultant and getting you where you want to go. And proof of concept, if they have a strategy, or if they have a system, or if they have something new to bring to your life that'll get you where you want to go, you think you'll be set.
Yeah. And overall, to get back on track with, some of the benefits, we might call this the lightning round. We're at 47 minutes. We don't want to go too far over an hour with this, but we want you to improve your business skills and knowledge. We want you to get help in specific areas of your business. You need to learn from experts. You need to make sure that those experts are bringing something to the table and you're learning from them. Don't have somebody come in and do it for you and then you don't learn it. You have that knowledge, and maybe it's not you personally that's learning it. Having that knowledge embedded into your company, even through employees, is vital, because the reason I'm a consultant is I don't want to go work with Cheryl and Tim and Tom every day in the office. I want to come in and do a special project with you, improve your business, get the gold star, and move on to the next project and chase that dopamine, a little bit. That's why I love what I do, is because I can switch gears a little bit and go solve a new heuristic problem. So I don't want to stick around in your business and do things for you long term. I don't want to do them for the next 10 years. I want to help you do them for the next 10 years or the next 20, right? And so you need to be able to learn from those experts. If they're not good teachers, if they're not good instructors, then stay away from them. And then you want to feel the relief that comes with knowing someone is there to help you succeed. What do you think about that, Robert?
Yeah. It's just like, it's science. It's been proven by science that people will perform better when there's somebody else who's working with them, or somebody else who's holding them accountable, than they will in themselves. Like, if you want to get to that next level, having somebody hold you accountable, having someone help you set goals, it's been scientifically proven that you'll do better, you'll perform better when you have that added pressure of somebody else who's going to, I don't know if the word is judge you, but see what you're doing and really just coach you, or consult you along so that you can get there. Like, if somebody's watching you, if somebody's going to contact you like next week and hold you accountable, you're 10 times more likely to actually do it, because you don't want to let them down, so that's a big thing about consulting. And like, you can't pay somebody enough to help you improve your life or your business. You know what I mean? So that's one of the most amazing things about all this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it helps you to paint a good picture and imagine what it would look like for you to reach that next level.
Well, yeah. And people are, most business owners are probably, not most, but a lot of them are probably, losing sleep at night and freaking out and stuff, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're going. They really got by, or they really started a social media right at the right exact moment or the right exact time. And then they never really had a structure or a system, and they don't see the growth of their business anymore. So
yeah,
having someone come in and paint that for them is really important.
Yeah, that stagnation, it really gets into you get into a comfort zone, whether you like it or not sometimes, and you don't know how to get into that growth zone. When you do try to get into that growth zone, you leap into that panic zone. And so you're like, last time I tried this. And so this helps, bringing someone in like a consultant or advisor helps you to really picture what it's going to look like for you to actually be in that growth zone, be successful long term, for and get your family into a better situation, get your time management under control, whatever you need, whatever the task is at hand.
Right.
You're going to feel supported in your business journey.
It's important.
Yeah. And I think, we've got two more bullet points here, but we want to transform your business with this 8-week course. So, it's an 8-week consulting engagement. It's a hybrid between one-on-one consulting, online learning, as well as masterminds, weekly masterminds. We're giving you access to our 12-month we're giving you 12 months of access to our online learning platform. And it's a community. We're doing masterminds even outside of this 8 weeks. It's not going to be as structured, but you're going to be able to meet with the other business owners in that community. And so we want to give you that opportunity to be in this first group, and we're not going to do it like this ever again, but we're going to do mastermind groups and things like that in the future. But we want to give this opportunity to the first 8 people in this group that are going to be really successful, and we want them to give them the best chance of success. And so we're gonna go above and beyond with some one-on-one coaching and goal setting and things like that to actually transform your business.
Right. Well, I think that would be great. And if you have a vision for your business and it's not quite lining up right now, or you need help in any way, that's pretty much what we're here for. So,
yeah. And last but not least, achieve your goals with the help of the business advisor and the coach. Like if you have trouble reaching your goals, that gap between here and there, imagining what it would look like is kind of one of those things. But we want to help you achieve your goals. So give us an opportunity to help you achieve those goals. And we'll do it. We've posted the link a couple of times, the growth consultant /mastermind, thegrowthconsultant.com/mastermind. Go in there, set up your free consultation. We've got 11 days left of this offer. Do you want to touch on that offer before we go, Robert?
Sure. So basically, you're getting access to work with me and Corey one-on-one for 8 weeks. We have a very, high intensive plan basically to grow your business. And then you're also going to be grandfathered into our group coaching program, where you're going to basically get all access to all of our trainings for the next 12 months on top of that. So if you want to grow your business, if you want to make more money, if you want to be more successful, right now is the best time to book a call, and the call is basically just a free strategy session. We're not going to work with everybody. We're only going to work with a few people. And we just want to make sure that you're serious and that we can help you. If your business is very obscure or kind of crazy, who knows if it'll be a right fit. But once we get in there and we look at your business, we're going to not only help you get clarity on your business, we're going to help you come up with a strategy that's going to basically make you stand apart from the rest of the market, so you can basically create your own blue ocean in your own industry and really just start to crush it and kill it. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on right now in marketing and in the world at large, that you need that extra leg up on the competition. You need to make sure that your revenue is coming in, that you can keep payroll going, that you can keep the roof over your head, and you need to make sure you have consistent sales. That's the biggest thing. So there's lots that you're going to learn. You're going to get better at time management. You're going to get better with your finances. You're going to find new opportunities to make more money. All of it's going to be basically involved in this 8-week business growth intensive. So book a free strategy session. Again, the strategy session, literally, we're just going to go over what you got going on in your business. It's really going to be very, very helpful to give you clarity. And then if you want to work together to get to your goal, that's kind of what we're doing. We're selling profitable futures and profitable businesers. So if you're interested,
at the end of the day, that strategy session is going to get you those quick wins, just without any commitment for anything else. Yes, if you are a great candidate for this 8-week business growth intensive, then we're going to offer that to you. But at the end of the day, Robert and I just want to give you those quick wins and go over your strategy and figure out, hey, what are some things you can do today? What are some, action items that we can give you? And so that's what we're trying to do, is just give you those action items in this free strategy session.
Well, right on, man. I think that was helpful. So I hope everybody knows why you need a consultant and just basically where you need to do. So reach out to us, send us a message, book a call, and we'll just basically help you get to the next level.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I thank you all for watching today, and just reach out to us, and we'll make sure that you get taken care of.
Right on.